Hey guys, welcome to Rizz Report number 3. It's King Kunal here, and in this episode we're going to be discussing some of the latest news that's been happening about the past 1.5 weeks that I haven't really got to touch on, which was last time I hit a Rizz Report was October 8th. Since then I've had quite a lot of homework and stuff, so yeah, I've just not been able to discuss really. But I did announce, if you guys didn't see, I said I announced some of the topics that I wanted to discuss here, but there has been some more good developments that I came up with. So yeah, first thing I said, I said college is useful to reveal your strengths. I can't believe how fast I learned things. So basically what I said, the reason I'm so amazed, yeah, so I only have been doing CS seriously for about 10 months, and even in the first like 3 months I was like still getting the basics down. So really 7 months of serious coding like experimental coding was mostly the first 3 months. So and I'm impressed. It's not to brag, but like I didn't believe I had it in myself to learn this fast, learn key concepts for such a difficult field so fast. I've learned about circuitry, logic design, Boolean algebra, all sorts of things, and ors, and regarding the computer sector, CPU performance, and I've actually started developing my own apps. I'll get to that in a moment. And I've learned about C++, C, C Sharp, Python, TypeScript, JavaScript, React. I mean, it's amazing how well these things can be used, and most of it's come through what I call the Kunal philosophy, the Rizz God philosophy, actually. The way I was able to focus was, I always wonder why didn't I focus as well in middle school and high school, is I was really distracted. I said, why is dating, so one thing I've done is avoided dating. The moment I came to college, my mindset was set that I'm going to find some passion and I'm going to only focus on that, and if I am needing in some breathers, I'll have a few friends to, hang out with. That'll be pretty fun. So I said, but especially staying away from dating. So one thing I did was I said, and you might be wondering why, and I said, in my opinion, I just think that the breakup rate is so common in Gen Z. Like, you'll break up in like 3 days, in my opinion. That's an exaggeration, but most relationships are breakups, and it's not worth the trouble. I'd rather deal with failure in a video game than deal with failure in a date. Okay, I don't want to have to deal with that. Number two is just, no. So I already had this phase. I already had it in middle school. And in high school, I was trying to become like the wimpy kid, popular, loved by everyone. Not just even the smart guys as well. But basically, in college it's even worse because, as I said, there's sluts, lots of sluts, boys and girls, and it pisses me off, and I just don't want to deal with it. So I'll rather focus on my career. Some other things I did actually touch on also included C Sharp is 1,000 times better than Java. So I learned a little Java back in APCS in 10th grade, and I really didn't like Java that much. Like, it's their classes were pretty it was just a difficult thing to work with. Like, I personally found C Sharp better when I started studying it. Microsoft always makes good things. I think that's what I said. I said something about Microsoft always coming up with good ideas and getting rid of them, but I can't really figure it out. Last thing on the other subject was, I said you're going to find out in life that the only real friend you have is yourself and your family, and it's up to you to make something out of your life for respect. Most people who reach great heights were outcasts. If you think of Elon Musk, probably not popular in school, Jeff Bezos, Trump, Joe Biden, all these guys, probably nerds in their schools, and not really that didn't look like they were going to have much success. Barack Obama, for example. But they're all pretty successful, so that's my inspiration. And most people I have known throughout my life, they're either smart, they're too smart for me. There's a thing that are too smart, too nerdy. I just can't so basically too serious, and I can't have really have any fun. I'll just be discussing academics all the time. It's either that, or they're too foolish to have. They just can't have serious conversation, which I've been getting a lot of recently with some people who are still like nostalgic about their childhood. They want to try to not leave it by acting like children and like do childish things like talk in weird slang ways. Like it's all very weird, and I'd rather go into the workplace where people hopefully have a sense of maturity, and I can become better friends with them. That's not to say all of my generation is like this. I definitely think there are people that are good. That's why they're my friends. A lot of them are emotionally like more guided by emotion, and I'd rather not associate it with it. And I acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. According to societal standards, I am probably a loser. Like, right? Like, this average societal guy looks down upon people who, like, study and game. It's, like, considered nerd culture, right? So, and it makes me sad, but I realize that this is what I wanted. So, I hope it'll pay off, and I'm confident it will, because it already is paying off. I'm feeling a lot happier about, talents. I'm studying with a bunch of fourth-year students, and I'm really happy. And I'm still making some Pokemon games. You guys should have caught my Pokemon Black and White game. I'm finishing up Pokemon Black and White 1 because I was too lazy to do that one. So yeah. Anyway, now last thing I wanted to talk about was breaking story was let me see, NYT India gay marriage. India was literally saved. India is my home country, if you guys don't know, and I was very proud to see that India's top court rejected gay marriage. I've been while voicing sympathy. That's important because I also feel sympathetic towards these people. They're going through a unique thing, but they shouldn't be forcing their definitions and their ideas on the larger society that has already established their traditions. They should establish their own customs, in my opinion, if they really want to have some sort of relationship. Don't force the government to recognize it, in my opinion, because obviously it's not. You can't reproduce. You can't have a husband-wife household. You can't have a traditional household. Then you shouldn't be interfering with the country's business. So yeah, you want to live gay? I don't give a shit. Go, but don't force it onto other people to accept it, because that'll literally turn us into the West. Let me look at frickin' the United States. Everyone was arguing, oh, let them have the right, and even I was supportive of it at the time. I was like, who cares? They just want to be recognized. Let them be recognized. Like, they're not going to do anything to others. But now, a large majority of those people are influencing. It's encouraged transgenderism, delusions where you could think you can become some other gender, or you can just identify as whatever you want. For example, I'm using that technique now. So in college there was a line for ice cream, and there's a long line. I went through the front of the line and identified as a trans first in line. That was my identity, and I said and I told the guys in the very front of the line that if you question my identity, then you're committing, you're contributing to the suicide rates of, or you may be contributing to suicide rates of trans first in line people. Obviously it's a joke, I'm not serious, but I wanted to know that I want people to realize how ridiculous all this shit is, because that is us. We're having trans cats, trans dogs in classrooms. Teachers are forced to identify with the kids that are thinking they're dogs. It's normal for a kid to want to be an animal. I mean, I wanted to be so many animals when I was a kid. That's kids. But encouraging that shit is disgusting, and yeah, I'm grateful that India shut this shit down for now, and they better pass some sort of constitutional amendment to shut this shit down forever, because the proof is already there that it's destroyed America, right? Like, America is a shithole right now in every respect, but definitely in this respect too. Well, this is not much of a concern, but it is as other issues, but it's still there, and it annoys so many people in my generation especially. I know so many of my friends in Gen Z, surprisingly, to my surprise, that are pissed off at this shit as well, but especially the people that are ahead of our generation, because they're less emotional than us, because they didn't have so much technology in front of them, and they weren't sitting in their rooms all the time during high school, and they at least didn't have to during the coronavirus. So yeah, it's a really good thing, and I'm really happy about that as well. And last thing I wanted to show you is something that I have been the stuff that I've been working on, C#. So it's a pretty cool language. Okay, so as an example, one thing I'm working on is this Windows form project. You can see that you can actually stylize your UI however you want. So right now I have this as my application. Currently I'm working on a tic-tac-toe application. Now I have the code written out. The problem is it's in C right now, and even if I write it out, and I have a C++ version of it as well. The problem is even if I write it in C++ or C, it's going to be difficult to embed this into this application because this is written in C#. If you look at the form designer, all of these labels and all of these objects are all written in instances. They're all created with the C# language that was developed by Microsoft, and it's in Windows form. To develop in C++ a Windows desktop application, you have to do a separate thing, which you can do with File New Project, and you can find, you can just go all languages, and you can go C++ and find these things. So how might I do it? Well, currently I'm trying to create a DLL file, compile the tic-tac-toe code that I have into here. Now I only just started, so I'll have to figure out how to finish it. This is actually a new thing for me, so hopefully I'll be able to learn it soon. And yeah, get this thing running, because if I get this thing running on this for the tic-tac-toe, then I'll be able to add more games that I can code for fun, or add web browser onto here, a mini web browser for this app. I want to make this app basically like your average fun app that, while it displays your CPU information, you can maybe select random games that you want. You're feeling nostalgic for games, or you want to do a quick web surf, something like that. It's just this is mostly for learning. I could really care less if someone's already made this. I doubt. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was, but I know where Java's at on the freaking popular rankings. Okay, so Java's number 2. Yeah, it is pretty up there, but that's because it's necessary for a lot of applications, and then software development, because of the ties to, because of the language has been developed at a very early stage. Anyway, last thing I wanted to talk about was the food at my college is absolutely disgusting. I mean, it disgusts the absolute shit out of me. So for example, one time I was eating beans. Let me pull that picture up. Alright, I got the picture running. So this is a picture of the beans they had at freaking college, and you can see how dry and disgusting it looks. I can't even tell if this is salt over here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. I don't know if NVIDIA lets you record your cursor, but basically this absolutely disgusted me, and I just didn't even eat it. Now the Indian food I eat, I literally made my own food for the first time. It was dal, if you know, that's basically lentils in English. If you look it up, dal. Yeah, it's basically this. So I ate that with a little bit of rice, and well, mine looked more like this, I'd say. It was more plain, without all the vegetables, but I ate it with rice, and it was so much better. I mean, my food, I hardly make my own food usually, but the fact that it was better than this, in my opinion, obviously, but that says something to me, that the Indian food in general just conquers all food. I mean, I've had so many different foods. I've had American food, Chinese food is close up there in the seconds, definitely. Japanese food, not really that much, but Thai food also. But American food maybe in the middle, because it's good when you're really tired and just really hot and really need something. American food definitely comes in clutch. But if you're in a relaxing mood and you want to just eat something, you're in a relaxed mood and you're working, Indian food is definitely the way to go. And you're lucky if you're Indian, you'll have all the secrets to making it. Oh whoops, this was a little video I was watching actually about the Windows Phone back in a few that was released in 2010. I was curious about the history of it. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up all the topics I have, really. Oh, one last thing I totally forgot to mention was the illegal immigrants. So this was about 2 weeks ago. It's more relevant than news. I said ship the illegals. I said I think I already mentioned this, but I also added ship them back via UPS. The funny thing that was on my mind. This is all stuff that I say that's on my mind at the time, and it could end up being wrong or exaggerated, but that's how Twitter is. So yeah, one last thing I did want to mention is new Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So if you guys don't know, this is a new game that's coming out, and if you guys want to if you guys want, then I don't have the technology to record this, but what I can do is keep providing updates on Twitter as to what I think of the game. I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm gonna buy it because its cost is actually pretty damn high. I think it's like $60, so it's pretty insane. But what I might do is play this multiplayer, and if one of my friends has the technology to record it, who knows? Maybe I could actually record it. And CNN is actually doing a story on this. Yeah, $60 at see $60 at all stores. I don't really think this is that interesting of a game. I mean, it's designed for kids. It's not really designed for the people who grew up with these games, like me and some other people. Whoa, I don't even know what the hell. What are these ads that CNN's posting? That is disgusting. Okay, yeah, I mean, this elephant thing, though, I have to admit is good, and it's cool that they brought in Daisy here, Luigi's future wife, obviously. So yeah, this should be interesting. I'm curious about if it can succeed, because obviously I would be really interested in trying to 100% this game. I usually like to 100% all Mario games. For example, I have if I can find it, let me raise my volume. I actually 100%ed all these games you see right here. Super Mario 3D World and New Super Mario U. Definitely up there in the favorite Mario games in my list. And yeah, I'll actually really enjoy it. Last thing I wanted to touch on was the new release of Disney movies. There's actually one that I'm excited for, hopefully, which is Frozen 3. So I'm going to look up that quickly. But it should be coming out soon, which is about next year. Oh, this is just some Reddit post. But yeah, looks like it is coming out. Screen Rant was making some posts about it. What I want to see is more of Kristoff, okay, because he was absolutely useless in Frozen 2. I guess though it's fair because the second movie was mostly about Elsa and the first movie was mostly about Anna. So, but it would be cool to see how Kristoff runs things as a fiance, or if he gets married, if he becomes king, how he would have to deal with the kingdom, because obviously he's never been really a king person. The other movies that they did announce were I think Zootopia. They announced a new Zootopia movie and Zootopia 2, and also I think, what is it, freaking oh, I forgot what it's called. Inside Out, right? Inside Out number 2. That was announced many months ago, but I just discovered it because I got interested in Frozen, so I was curious if they were doing a sequel, and I discovered they announced other movies. Last thing I wanted to touch on is because I did say I would say C# is better than Java, but I never really stated why I believe that, so I'm just gonna look it up because I'm too lazy to show you the difference. But most people say exactly, yeah, this is kind of stuff that overloading functions, pointers, their memory is much better. I guess Java also has its pros, like in terms of I don't even know what in terms of, but it's easier to understand, I guess you can say, than C# probably, because their methods are a lot easier to understand. It's pretty basic, but also there's a lot more typing in Java. That's the one thing I hate. C# is much faster than Java. That's the main thing. Like if you look at the runtime, it'd probably be better. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But obviously my C++ is probably still my favorite language because just that's the one I like more. That's why I'm actually doing this. It's more practical to these kind of applications that I'm interested in, especially in the Windows application development industry. That's my dream, obviously, which is to become some sort of software developer for applications and stuff. I'm not really gonna try to be a web developer, but I would like to, help make software development reality. Like, I feel like software is the future, and I don't want AI to take over. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Last thing I do want to mention is I totally forgot to show you the actual application that I am running. So this is the actual application. I actually have it pinned to my taskbar now. So this is the current thing I'm trying to play. I haven't exactly embedded this in yet, but it's supposed to let you play tic-tac-toe. This is a little button that lets you play display your machine memory and RAM, and this will exit the program. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys this episode, and hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll be back with some black and white in a bit, hopefully, as soon as I finish, because I'm pretty chill with homework right now and I don't really have much going on. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys next time.